What's going on, everyone? Golden Ticket to History coming to you here from Washington D.C. As you can see, there's a lot of videos I've been doing. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a whole bunch of D.C. or if I'm going to flip-flop some of the other ones I have that have the back burner. But we're here at a house I've been trying to get to for a long time. It's one of the oldest, it is the oldest private residence in Washington, D.C. that's still standing from 1799, the Octagon. It's a very famous house, very unique structured house, and supposedly a very haunted house. So, it's right in front of me. We're going to check it out. First time I've seen it. I've never seen it before, so we're going to see what it looks like. Check out the history. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Check the house out. It's literally right in front of me. So crazy to think I'm here. Let's check it out. I have no idea what that sign says. There's so many signs here in DC that are completely tarnished from the sun. Headquarters of the American Institute of Architects since the 1800s. Kind of just breaks down who's occupied it. But we're going to check out the house. Right there is the Octagon House. Place I've been wanting to come for a very long time. Little plaques over here. Let's check them out. Kind of crazy. Seems like it'll just get filled with snow and rain. Must be some type of drain. There's a little drain down there. Let's see. The Octagon House has been designated a registered National Historic Landmark under the provisions of the Historic Sites Act of August 21st, 1935. The site possesses exceptional value in commemorating and illustrating the history of the United States. U.S. Department of Interior, 1961. The building known as the Octagon House, built in 1800 for Colonel John Tayloe of Mount Airy, Virginia, was occupied by President Madison after burning of the president's house by the British on August 14th of 1814. Here the Treaty of Ghent was ratified by Madison February 17th, 1815. So it's one of the really cool things about this house is that it also was temporarily the president's house. James Madison lived here after the War of 1812, after the burning of Washington, when the British came in and burned the White House, burned many of the federal buildings, including the United States Capitol, and wreaked havoc. It took a long time to fix those. So this is one of the houses that the president lived in when James Madison was president. So the father of the Constitution. So let's check it out.
The Octagon House has a rich history and has seen several deaths within its walls. Aside from the Tayloe family residing in the home, many important residents have come and gone through the years. Since the home was a place where both John and Anne Tayloe breathed their last breaths, their spirits may roam around long after their deaths, ringing bells to summon servants who no longer attend to their desires. One location in particular has a reputation for frequent and unexplained activity was the impressive circular stairwell of the house. Many visitors recall feeling cold spots and strange feelings as they ascended or descended the stairwell. The second floor and third floor landings have also been places where specters and paranormal activities may have been reported, according to residents and even museum staff. Aside from the Tayloes themselves, it is said that two of the daughters may also linger to haunt the home. It was said that one of the daughters of John Tayloe III died after a freak accidental fall down the three-story staircase. Some have heard deathly screams at night, yet they were only the ones in the house at the time. The earliest reports of the ghostly occurrences dates back to 1908. Another famous presence that is said to overstaying her welcome in the home is Dolly Madison, who had passed in another house in Washington, D.C. in 1849. But lived here for a long part of the presidency of her husband. She's said to be haunting the Octagon House, as well as other D.C. landmarks like the White House and the Madison House, where she lived her last days. The first initial reports of hauntings of the Octagon House were said to date back to as early as 1888. At that time, the house was already being rented out to various tenants. One night, nearly a dozen men were said to have spent the night here with the intent of scaring off any spirits that may have occupied the house. Detailed accounts of spirits in the Octagon House were later published in a local newspaper, which was quoted multiple times throughout the 20th century, when other publications were writing about the Octagon House. Soon after the house was converted into a museum, the superintendent at the time was said to have witnessed various lights flickering on and off, or having them turn off for no apparent reason, with no one at the switch. He also said that some of the doors would open for no reason at all, even on nights when there was no wind reported.
Take a picture of this if you'd like to read it. I guess there's a table inside where President Madison signed the Treaty of Ghent. All the glazed over windows. I think this house has been standing for about 225 years. Not long after the founding of our nation. Backs up to the American Institute of Architecture, which is a massive building, but they still hold out with the Octagon House. Again, this is probably one of those brick wall windows. They probably, when they tried to place taxes on windows, much like the Decatur house, they came in and boarded it up. It's my assumption. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but it seems fitting. House is around the same age as the Decatur house, and would make some people wonder and think that the same provisions would have been taken. This house has definitely been on my bucket list for a long time. And apparently, I feel like I walked past it without even realizing it. Because I felt like this building, one of the federal buildings across the street, I feel like I walked past it before. Or cut through, or maybe cut one row up. Because the White House is just down that way. The Eisenhower Executive Building is just down that way. So hopefully you enjoyed this quick little video. As always, continue to look at the history and film. Make sure to subscribe. We have so much coming. Haunted locations, true crime, famous graves, famous locations, historical locations, maybe even some theme parks very soon, and so much more. From Washington, D.C., have a great evening, everyone. Catch you guys in the next video. So yeah, quick little bonus feature. So I was about to finish the video, and I looked to see there was a little gate that kind of went around, and there's a little courtyard here behind the Octagon House, which I wanted to catch a little bit of really quickly. So let's check it out. Little awards section here. I'm assuming these people who did excellence, or maybe they could pay to get a brick here at the Octagon House. Yeah, that's the back of it. And one thing I have noticed is a lot of houses only have like the one chimney. And I've gone to some historic places back in Florida, and a lot of times it has to do with taxation. Whereas the local governments will tax them for every chimney they have, not for every fireplace, for every chimney. So a way around this was a lot of homeowners, wealthy homeowners, would connect multiple fireplaces to one chimney. I would not want to be the one going into that bottom door at night. No trespassing private property. Well, I'm not technically on the property. I'm kind of in this courtyard, so hopefully they don't get too mad at me. I'll leave if they ask me to. some of the stonework. Glazed windows definitely do make it very difficult to see. So yeah, so I was just walking around and saw that the gate was still open, so I kind of just walked around and saw that we get back here. So I decided to nonchalantly walk back here. But this is definitely the end of the video. As always, continue with history and film. Have a great night, everyone. Coming to you live, but not live for you, from Washington, D.C., the federal city. But check out some of the stuff. I've been in the Capitol. I did a live video last year, but I didn't take any pictures of the monuments. Actually, I may go this way. There's a lot of things I haven't seen. Like I haven't seen the Martin Luther King statue. I haven't really been down to the wharf. I've gone to the Lincoln Memorial, and I actually haven't been back this trip. I've been to about the Washington Monument and kind of stopped. But right now I'm actually past the Washington Monument. So it could be a good idea to maybe go beyond that and kind of see what the skyline looks like at nighttime. Or the National Mall looks like at nighttime. It's really hot. It's supposed to be hitting about 101. It's supposed to be 100, I think, tomorrow. 101 on Friday. I'll be back in Florida by then. So, but anyhow, till the next video. Have a great night, everyone.